Too many e-commerce brands wildly underestimate this tool, and it costs them thousands of dollars per month. So I'm gonna go through exactly what this tool is and how you can get the most out of it to maximize your sales. So firstly, I'm WILDLY. If you don't know me, I co-founded a 7-figure e-commerce business in 2013 with my brother. We left our corporate job, started the business from the kitchen bench, and it now goes on to do multiple 7 figures per year. I also have helped over 200 e-commerce brands hit record revenue months with their businesses through my paid communities, the Ecom Blueprint program. So what I want to go through today, this came up in our community a couple of days ago. It's basically the use of AI. So I'm sure you've heard of AI, artificial intelligence, and it's been topical for almost a couple of years now, and revolutionized really, or made popular by the likes of ChatGPT, probably first and foremost. That's the most popular one for sure. So when we're talking about AI, there was a sense of overwhelm, of FOMO even, right? People are getting served ads. There's a lot of talk about AI. I should be using AI. AI can do all of this stuff. AI. And the conversation went something like this. Basically, in my experience, and from what I'm doing currently in the marketplace today, is we can't get FOMO. We can't get overwhelmed. To use AI effectively, we need to have a need for it. It might sound obvious, but you can't go looking for solutions. You can't go looking for things if you don't even have a need for it. It's just this next shiny object that I should be using because someone in the industry had said they should use it, right? So that's the very foremost thing. You shouldn't get overwhelmed. You shouldn't have FOMO. You should only be looking for a solution. When you're doing something manually, you know there should be a better way to do it. And that's where AI can specifically come into it. The second thing, and I'm talking about ChatGPT here, but it also refers to other AI tools as well. The other thing is that the outputs will be determined by the inputs. You would have heard the old saying, garbage in, garbage out. So a big mistake that people make is assuming that this tool will just do absolutely everything for them. It will be their second brain and basically come up with all the ideas and write all the copy and expect this absolute genius to come out the other end. But it's actually not true. What you have to do to get the best possible desired outcome is ensure you're giving it the best possible inputs. Now, this will certainly come from your mind, definitely initially, to be able to start the prompts, build the intelligence up within your account, give it prompts here and there, tell it to be a certain personality type based on your target avatar, for example. But you need to really understand that it's going to be determined by the inputs, okay? It's like giving someone as a person instructions. If you give them vague, sloppy, I'm not even sure what I want to get out of this type instructions, that's the output that you're gonna get. Okay, so really, really important. Like I said, you start with the need, then you actually have to give very clear instructions to get the desired outcome. And a really good way to think about using AI, this is something that I've adopted absolutely, is it does teach you to get out of your own head and be able to give instructions, clear instructions, so that when you do bring on contractors and employees or people to help you, that it really kind of sets you up for giving clear instructions. It actually asks of you the question, am I being clear enough? Am I giving very specific instructions? What is my even anticipated output from this? And you can even see what the output obviously will be in a quick turnaround. Because when you relate and deal with people, they may not have the confidence or a particular response to how you're giving instructions. It might just be like, oh, go and do this thing and let me know what you come up with, right? It's really important that we give good, proper, clear inputs so that we can get the desired outputs. Otherwise, we'll just basically set ourselves up for disappointment. So that's the first precursor to using any AI. And what I'm going to go into is specifically ChatGPT, which, as I said, is basically the most popular tool and I think still has the most uses that a lot of people are just underutilizing. And the third part of this is just because it's free, there's a pay and free version, but the free one is definitely sufficient for most business owners. Just because it's free, people just neglect it and let it fall by the wayside. Whereas that's the opposite of what we should be doing. This is basically like a free employee, a free second brain, in my opinion and my experience, about we can get it to do so much work that we may not even know its capabilities before this video. All right, so that's what I want to go through and share with you in this video today. So the first uses of ChatGPT is copywriting. That's kind of how it was created, what it was created for. That's still what it is very, very, very good at. So when you talk about copywriting, that could be very simply blogs and emails and ads and social posts, even captions on our socials, our Instagrams. You know, think outside the box, and basically it can do it. Anything you need written copy for, it can do it based on the instructions and the input that you actually give it. So that's the obvious one. On top of that, as we kind of stack the skill sets, it can create ebooks, right? It could create a 500-page ebook if you really wanted it to. But like other assets as well, information flyers, all sorts of things that you need for your business that could be assets, meaning physical things that we can produce once and give away for free in exchange for people's email addresses, for example. If you're using lead forms on Facebook as an example, then it's extremely powerful to create these assets. And then you can just obviously put them in Canva or something like that to actually design them if you need to. But the written copy is basically considered done. The other thing you can do is like socials, you know, you can create competitions, for example. You can say, hey, write a competition for XYZ, give it the proper inputs, even give it some examples, right? Really, really important. We can use the copywriting for our websites, our product descriptions, anything you can possibly think of that is written, it can do. And then there's some things that we may not even know it can do, right? We don't really think outside the box because we haven't been taught to think outside the box. So that's what I want to sort of reveal for you today, because it's saved me so much time and money that it's just ridiculous. Like, why didn't I know this, before? So one of those things is something like contracts, standard operating procedures, terms and conditions, guarantees, even things for our business that is like almost like trudging on kind of legal type stuff. You can get ChatGPT to create it. Now there might be some edits that are required, some fill in the blanks that are required, but it again gets you out of your head, out of your skill set, and it can determine these things. So really valuable things that we can use on a daily basis that is copywriting that we can use that's really beneficial for us. Another really important thing that people neglect is just general research, right? Whilst we go to Google and other sources to find things out about our customers, we can put it in ChatGPT. Now, this is where I think that AI is possibly going, is where it is going to become like a search engine. So start to use it, start to understand, get really in depth. It can basically summarize all of the search engines at the moment. This is why AI is so powerful, because pulling from Google, pulling from all other sources to give you summaries, quick summaries. So you can look at market research, customer research, avatar, like knowing who your target customer actually is, what their wants, needs, and desires are. Obviously, with all of this information, you can pull it together and put it into your marketing, put it into your assets, right? You'd basically prompt it to then create product descriptions or social posts or emails. It becomes an accumulation as it actually builds intelligence. You can also pull from competitors, right? There's all sorts of things that you can do, literally infinite things. You basically just have to try it on, but you need to know what to start with. Of course, then there's, idea creation. If you're literally stuck of what am I going to create for a YouTube video today, I can put that in ChatGPT and say, it'll punch out 10 ideas. And then once I'm on an idea, it'll say, go narrow on number one. It'll give me 5 talking points, 10 talking points, right? This is the same thing with all of your socials. You will never or should never run out of ideas or content ever again. The other thing too, it gets into the technical realm. So SEO, if you're doing product descriptions, you say, write it that's SEO friendly, right? You can do anything to do with coding or data. You can literally say, write this in code. What I'm trying to say up here in this SEO part, for example. It will give you absolute clarity on all of these things, even Excel formulas. You can actually ask it, what's this Excel formula for XYZ? Incredibly powerful that we would be searching on Google or just be lost without. You can even put in data and get it to analyze data. So spreadsheets, other formulas, anything you actually want to analyze statistics. It's extremely powerful. As I say, it becomes that second, third, even fourth brain with what we may be deficient at. And then the final thing, the really powerful thing, is any tech instructions. Using Shopify, using Excel, using Klaviyo, using any platform that we do. If we have a question, we can put that in ChatGPT and it will give us crystal clear step-by-step instructions. So the uses of these AI tools, especially what I'm talking about today, which is ChatGPT, are worth more than an employee. And as I said before, just because it's free, we can't undervalue it, because too many e-commerce brand founders are wildly underutilizing this tool, right? There should be no roadblocks with a tool like ChatGPT to you making progress about what you do next. In fact, you can probably just ask it and prompt it, what should I do next? And it will give you clear instructions beyond that. When I say that we use this tool religiously every single day, I'm telling the truth, and it will, if you do the same, enable you to recapture thousands of dollars per month using it, because of the things that we're missing or the gaps that we don't understand in our knowledge or skill expertise, right? It's got this capability. We don't need to be stuck any longer with these tools. So coming full circle here, the most important thing is to have the need. That's hopefully what I've helped you identify today. I need help with contracts or code or SOPs or just emails, right? Hopefully I've even opened up your mind to ChatGPT anyway, like as a concept, okay? But then the second thing is obviously knowing the inputs. Knowing the inputs based on our desired output, our desired outcome is really, really important. Garbage in, garbage out, okay? We must get better. And this is a skill, trust me. It's a skill that we learn to give better instructions. So you have to start somewhere and then you'll get better, you'll improve. But you know what? So will the AI tool. So will its intelligence. It will actually build more intelligence around your instructions and using the thing as you do actually use it. So you'll both get better at the same time, which is absolutely crazy and so valuable to us and our businesses. So look, I hope I've driven the point home here. Don't sleep on this. Use it religiously, find your need, then you can put the inputs in and keep it simple and obviously get the desired outputs for anything else that you need to do and succeed with your business. It is ridiculous. I can basically assure you that you don't even know its capabilities right now if you haven't been utilizing it to its maximum. So look, if this video is valuable, I've got a link below to find out how we help e-commerce brands scale to their first 10K all the way up to 100K per month. You can have a look at it if you're interested in getting help with your business. Obviously you don't have to, but there's just a link there if you're interested. But other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, and feel free to drop a comment below. Obviously it was helpful. And if there's anything else that you want to know moving forward to do with e-commerce. But other than that, I hope it was valuable once again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.